We all love the sound of money, and a $1,500 sign-on bonus sounds even better. That's right, Belicio Foods of Jackson is offering a $1,500 sign-on bonus to new employees. Receive an extra $100 your first 6 weeks, then $400 after day 90, and $500 after day 180. Don't wait. Apply online at beliciofoods.com/careers today. That's beliciofoods.com/careers. Come work for a company who truly values their employees. Come work for Belicio Foods.
Well, happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. Of course, Jennifer here to start off your Monday. Not as hot until tomorrow. And it's going to get real bad, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
With our good friend Pete Wilson and the morning news update brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. And if you have any real estate needs, give Nia a call, 740-418-4135. And she'll take great care of you. And man, is she listing some houses. I can tell you that.
Okay.
So,
the market is hot, right?
It is. It absolutely
is. And if the interest rates are going up, maybe you want to move quick.
I would say if you're thinking about it, get on it because the interest rates are only going to go up. So
right.
Yep.
And when they go up a couple percentage points and you're getting a $150,000 house, that's a lot of money if you're financing, isn't it?
It does add up quickly, doesn't it, Pete?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just a word to the wise.
That's right. So happy anniversary.
Oh, yes. Yes. We had it yesterday. Number 40.
That's so precious.
Isn't that nice?
You and Miss Pam.
Right.
And did you take her, on an extravagant African safari or anything like that yesterday?
No, we went to Olive Garden in Chillicothe.
Woo!
And had spaghetti.
Oh, well, that sounds good.
Yeah, very good. Very
I
good.
would be happy with that.
Very good. And they were so impressed that we got through 40 years unscathed, mostly unscathed, that they gave us free desserts. So that was an excellent choice.
Heck yeah. I'm all about that.
Right. So no, it was a very nice day. And I certainly love and appreciate my wife for putting up with me all these years because I don't probably give her the attention and time that I should.
Pete, well, I'd say that she is A-okay with you because you're a great guy.
Okay. Well, I'm loyal. You can't loyalty is a very good quality.
Yes.
And that works both ways. With
us.
And
you guys are the cutest. So.
All right. Well,
here's to 40 more.
40 more. 40 years. We're on the first day of that right now.
That's awesome.
Right. Very good. Well, anyway, as we start here in the middle of June, just one day away from the start of summer, even though we've been in the 90s already. And we're going to go back into the
20th of June already?
It is the 20th of
June.
June.
I just looked down at my watch.
That's right. Soon.
Wow.
And we got the 4th of July right around the corner. And then, school will be starting in 2 months. So, what do you think about that?
Ugh.
Time marches on.
Yes.
And today, just in case, you're not tuned in or you've forgotten, got to get with it. This is a holiday, a federal holiday.
It is. So don't go to the bank or anything.
Right. It was actually yesterday, technically, but because it fell on a Sunday, it is being observed today, the federal holiday, which means a lot of governmental offices are closed. It is, of course, Juneteenth Day.
That's right.
And that is in celebration and an observation of all the slaves in Texas being officially freed on June 19th, 1865. They were the final slaves to be officially freed. I believe a Union general made that happen. Texas, of course, a southern state. It just didn't happen there as quickly as it did some other places. And so symbolically, a big date for, the freedom of blacks.
Yeah.
And so we're all celebrating it now on June the 19th. Governmental offices closed, so, you're not with the new holiday yet. Courthouses, Jackson and Vinton counties will be closed. Most municipal governmental offices closed. Garbage collection services set back a day, all that.
Okay.
The only village offices that are open today is the village of Oak Hill. Everything else is closed. So,
all right.
If you have business with the city, of course, mail service and all that, you just have to wait until tomorrow.
Jamie, when he left this morning, he said, "Hey, could you run by the bank and get some change?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I was like, "Wait, no, I don't think I can."
No.
I don't think.
No, and of
We'll
course,
see.
a lot of private
Not sure.
businesses, are open today,
Yes,
like
sure.
they are on some of the other federal holidays. So you just have to maybe check if you're not sure before you head out some places. But most of the governmental offices, banks for sure, I would expect to be closed today.
Yep, absolutely. Or if you're in doubt, just give them a ring before you take off and make a long trip.
Right. Okay. Well, we finally, Jennifer, we can say nearly 1 week later, everybody has electric power again in Jackson and Vinton counties. We had got down to the point where yesterday there was a handful just in our local counties between AEP Ohio and Buckeye Rural Electric.
Sure.
Well, this morning when I turned on my magic map, neither county was circled. Buckeye Rural Electric, in fact, which has service in 8 southeastern Ohio counties, has everybody back on everywhere.
Awesome.
And
Because they're awesome.
right, AEP Ohio, everybody in southeastern Ohio is back on. I believe they still have some outages in Franklin County and Licking County, is what it looked like to me. But of course, they had a lot of people to put back.
Yeah, they
back,
sure did.
back in service as well. Okay, we're going to talk about some things that are being talked about in government that could affect you on down the line.
Okay.
Last week, 2 public hearings were held. One on Tuesday, one on Friday afternoons at the Jackson County Courthouse Annex in the commissioner's office. The commissioners weren't there. They didn't hear any of this, but Jackson County Engineer Melissa Miller had 2 hearings where the public was invited to come to discuss the possibility of the county enacting a permissive tax, which is also known as a piggyback license tax. Now, some people in the county are already paying that. It's an optional thing, but it has to be enacted. And what that does is when you go and pay for your license tag every year at the BMV, you're going to pay just a little bit more, and that money goes to that locality that enacted that tax to help with costs of road maintenance and paving and such as that. Right now in Jackson County, Wellston has a $15 piggyback license tax. Jackson City has a $10 piggyback license tax. The Village of Oak Hill has a $5 piggyback license tax. I don't believe there is any in Colton, and there is none countywide in the unincorporated areas in the townships.
Okay.
So that's why, one person might pay a different amount.
So
for
when
a
I go to
license.
get my tags, I probably don't pay as much as someone that lives in the city.
You don't, because of the difference of the piggyback license tax. Now,
Wow.
most
Didn't know
counties
that.
have a piggyback license tax that is countywide. Of course, Melissa Miller has been very forward and aggressive talking about the needs for, more money for the roads.
Sure.
She definitely hears it when people complain about the condition of the roads. And of course, the bridges are very expensive when you have to fix those. And so this is another avenue for her to get funding. So she initiated this. She was at both of the hearings. Our Phil Buffington was there to cover both hearings. Now, there wasn't a lot of people there, but there were several people at both hearings, and they were kind of on both sides a little bit. They understand the need for for more road money to improve the roads.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you know what's going on right now. People are really getting squeezed on the money end,
everything
with inflation and so forth. And so, it's a two-sided coin for sure. But the decision will actually have to be made by the commissioners. And it was noted, according to what Phil told me this morning when he updated me, that some people found it unusual that the commissioners were not in attendance, none of them at any of these hearings. So it is up to them. They may get a transcript of it. They may know, what was said because commissioners' employees were there. But it is going to be up to them whether to enact this piggyback license tax. There are 4 different forms of it, different levels that can be enacted. That would be up to them, or they can just strictly turn it down or not act on it at all. But for there to be a piggyback license tax countywide, they had to have those hearings to give the public a chance to be an input, and then they have to take the action to enact it. So we'll see what the commissioners do here at their upcoming meetings.
Okay. But they weren't at the meetings to hear what the people had to say.
They were not at either of the
Okay.
hearings, none of the
Interesting.
commissioners. There may have been a good reason or whatever,
Sure.
but they were not there to hear it. All right, speaking of public hearings, this wasn't technically a public hearing, but it was kind of like a public forum for the people to come. last Thursday evening at the Wellston City Council chambers at the Wellston City Building, the Health and Safety Committee of Wellston City Council had their second meeting on the cat problem in Wellston.
Oh.
Now, it's not fair to say, that implies that maybe that's the only place where there's a cat problem. I think that you could go about anywhere in any
It's
small
everywhere,
town,
for sure.
and there'd be a problem. What do we do with the stray and the feral cats and even the other cats that run at large who belong to somebody? Well, this was the second meeting to discuss that. Once again, there were several people that came. Teresa Pond LeMaster, who is an at-large city councilwoman in Wellston, she's the chair of the Health and Safety Committee. She's very interested in hearing what everybody has to say and try to come up with a solution. A solution could be very tough, as you might guess.
For sure.
On what you do or you don't do. Nobody's going to be happy probably either way.
No.
But some of the different ideas that got floated, and this was more of a brainstorming thing because no decision was made.
And there's no real answer to it either.
Yeah, they talked about a cat sanctuary. They talked about catching the stray cats and finding them, good homes somewhere. Like farms and like that, places where, cats play a good role and, they're not in someone's garden. And then there's the Humane Society recommended solution, which is trap the cats, spay or neuter them, and then release them. And then, they're not going to proliferate more kitties.
Right.
All right. And then there was a cat tag fee for neutering. If your cat is loose or whatever and it's trapped, you get charged a fee because of someone else neutered the cat, so therefore it doesn't cost somebody else. Now I'm not sure how that would go over, how you would enforce that.
I don't know either, because everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's not my cat."
But all those things were discussed.
Okay.
And guess what? There's going to be another meeting in late July on it because. One of the things that will give them more time is they're going to see what some other communities do, how they address this problem.
Okay.
There was talk about how Washington Courthouse has addressed the problem. I don't know whether successfully or not, but they've tried to do something with their cat problem.
Okay.
So they're going to, I think, talk to those folks to get a possible example there of what to do.
Yeah.
But the whole thing would have to come to city council then to decide what to do. And the same issue played itself out in Jackson actually a year ago. And the decision was to have a spay-neuter clinic, extra spay-neuter clinics, which cost money. The Humane Society does a couple of them a year. They can't afford to do a whole lot of them.
Right.
The city actually allocated $6,000 in its budget last year for a spay-neuter campaign. However, you can't do spay-neutering of cats till you get the cats. And
Correct.
appeared that there was no volunteers to trap the cats.
Exactly.
All right. Everybody,
Everyone wants to complain about the problem, but not be part of the solution.
Right. So anyway.
I'll say it.
Right. So anyway, it is a kind of a tough problem because the thing that is on the cities is it's on the books in the city of Jackson. I suppose it must be in the city of Wellston or they wouldn't be talking about this. You have to control your cat.
Yeah.
And if you don't control your cat, you're breaking the law. So why don't you enforce the law? Well,
because the cat's nobody's cat. Because everyone's going to say it's my neighbor's cat.
The dog warden bylaw does not have to do cats, and there's enough to do with the dogs, right? We know about
100%.
that. And then the other part of it is that that the cost that would be involved in doing that, and also, let's face it. You're not going to want to call the police and then have the police be chasing cats around the neighborhood. I think they have some better things to do.
They have other things to do,
right?
To focus on.
And it's really the same thing when people call the police about dogs, unless there's been a dog bite situation or something. Yes. They're probably not going to get involved. So anyway, stray cats in Wellston now being discussed. If you think you have a solution, contact Teresa Pond LeMaster, the councilwoman, or the administration. Right now, it's at the council committee level. Okay. So we'll see what happens or what doesn't happen. All right, today, and we do have good weather, so it could happen, a $1.2 million paving program could be starting in the city of Jackson.
Yay!
Last Thursday evening, Jackson City Council met in special session, and they kind of paved the way for it. Okay, by allocating some extra money on top of what had already been allocated, because guess what? The cost of paving and asphalt has gone up the last several months.
Shocker.
And by golly, they've got this income tax money, and that was one of the things they wanted to spend it on. So they allocated $300,000 to go on top of the $900,000 already set aside in the budget, and they hope to do. The administration of Mayor Randy Evans hopes to do all or most of the streets that they had ticketed for this year. We'll just have to see how it goes because they're paying by asphalt volume, not by street. So
Okay.
you have to see how much gets used. But here are the streets that might actually start this week. Atomic Drive from McCarty Lane to the end, and we actually have a photo of it. Notice the bumps and the cracks there.
Holy
And
moly.
now, not a lot of people use that street, but it's very important. It's right off McCarty Lane, and it goes back to the kidney dialysis place and the Atomic Credit Union.
Okay.
So if you're going back to the Atomic Credit Union to do some business, you're bumping along the way there.
I'd say so.
And so they're going to do that. They're going to do Twin Oaks Drive from Burlington Road to Terry Lane, Canterbury Drive from Burlington Road to the cul-de-sac, Hilltop Drive from Dickinson Street to the new pavement, Dickinson Street from South Street to Hilltop Drive, and Payne Street from South Street all the way to the end. Now, I'm not sure that all that work will start today, but they could start today. That's G&J Paving. They got the contract, and they will be doing $1.2 million worth of work.
Wow.
Other streets that will be done later this summer, Cherry Avenue from State Street to the end, Elm Street from the end to Cherry Avenue, Portsmouth Street from Walnut Street to Main Street, Water Street from Bridge Street to Harding Avenue from South Street to Main Street, AC Avenue from 84 Lumber to the intersection, Harper Avenue from Cherokee Lane to Longworth Street, and Main Street from High Street to the bridge, Central Avenue from Logan Street to the end, Logan Street from Morton Street to Mill Street, Freeman Street from the end to Logan Street, West Main Street from the curve to High Street, Carroll Avenue from State Street to the end, Briarwood Drive from the cul-de-sac to Gay Street, Gay Street from South Street to Ralph Street, Gay Place from Gay Street to the cul-de-sac, Missouri Avenue from the end to Gay Street, Redonda Avenue from Ralph Street covering the entire street, Harris Street from Main Street to Sellers Drive, and some paving in the cemetery as well. Now that sounds like a lot. It's not, all those aren't the entire street sometimes. It's a section of the street.
Sure.
And what the administration of Mayor Evans has done, they've tried to identify the worst places and the most highly frequented driving places and, make a decision on what should be done this year. The income tax money is making it possible. If there was no city income tax, it would not be done unless they got a grant or they had a little bit of money and they did, one street. They'd be doing a lot of patching more than they would be doing paving. So that's the emphasis there. Mayor Evans also said that there are some streets he knows that could have been paved and on that list this year, and they're not on that list because there's either construction work like sewer line, there's gas line work on my end of town.
Yes.
By the way, they've been digging in my yard and down the side of Star Street and all like that. They don't want to pave a street and then have it dug
dig
up
it back up again
because there's gas line work or sewer line work or water line work.
Yep.
So sometimes some possible paving is being put back a year because of what else is going on.
Well, and I think that, it's very important to say because I get people all the time say Broadway Street, over by Jamestown and that kind of area. And yes, the street is horrible and we all know that, but it's because of infrastructure things going on there before they can pave. So there's things that they're going to do over there that they don't want to pave and then, like you said, dig it up and then put it back again.
Right. There's the infrastructure.
So just be patient. It will be done.
There's the infrastructure, and one of the other things that delayed it, there was a lot of work being done at Belicio Foods,
100%.
which is right there in the middle of East Broadway Street, and a lot of trucks coming in and out, construction there on plant site on both sides of the road. And so, when they did the paving project, they didn't want it to be interrupted with other or hurt because of or compromised by construction work related to Belicio or
so
some
be patient,
city project.
It will get done.
Right. No, they are very aware of East Broadway Street. Believe me. And Mayor Evans has made it, he's made it a point, if you want to lobby for your street, if a councilman wants to lobby for streets in their ward, they can certainly do it, and they'll try to come up with a plan. They will have the money to, as long as the income tax stays on, to continue to pave every year. And the income tax is actually on for 5 years. They put a sunset clause in it. Randy felt like that was another accountability thing.
Sure.
And he feels that when people see what they can do with the income tax money, he feels it will be approved again. And he says once they do all the streets, it'll be time to start all over again.
There you go. It never ends.
He figures it could be a 10-year deal to get every street in town.
Yep.
All right. In the city of Wellston, a lot of improvement projects going on there as well. Some of these things came out at the last Wellston City Council meeting. The Old King's Pool Hall, which is on 2nd Street. There is a block of 2nd Street downtown between Pennsylvania Avenue and Ohio Avenue where it's blocked off. And it's because of that building right there that you see on the screen, the King's Pool Hall. That's the front of the building. But the more telling picture, which I don't have for you, is the back of the building. Nobody sees the back of the building.
Is that the one that we showed the other day?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about us that we don't have the more telling picture.
Well,
oopsie. Hey, we showed it the other day, darn
yeah,
it.
we showed it the other day. But this is the building. That's not in great shape either, the front of the building.
Right.
Here, that is what people see. They use it because the back, there's no alley or anything like that. But trust me, part of the building has fallen down back there.
The back wall is definitely fallen in.
Mayor Charlie Hudson is going to ask the land bank if he can go ahead with demolition because he's concerned about safety.
Gotcha.
Now, this is one of many buildings in the county that is on a list to receive funding through the land bank for demolition.
Okay.
There's a good chance that they will receive that funding, but it has not yet been approved or released.
Okay.
He is going to ask if there any way can we go ahead with this one. And I believe the land bank will meet later this month. So
Okay.
So that may happen.
Well, there's a difference when it's just an eyesore, and then there's a difference when it's very dangerous.
Right. And even though Wellston also has a city income tax, and I'm sure that makes it possible for some improvement projects there, including paving. One of the streets that the city just paved or had paved with city money was 10th Street in Wellston. And there it is. Doesn't that look nice and smooth?
Oh, yes.
10th Street is on the city's south side, and it is paved all the way from New York Avenue all the way to the corporation limit. That's a pretty long street in Wellston. A lot of work, a lot of money there. Another street that they plan to pave this summer is West Broadway Street. Now, a lot of people use West Broadway Street. Part of it is State Route 327. They're not going to pave that part because the state will do that.
Yes.
But if you come in, like a lot of folks do, if you're coming in off 93, you come in over the hill there on a county road, and then you drop into Wellston on West Broadway Street. A lot of people go in and out of town that way, all the way to Minnesota Avenue. That is a city street. That is the portion that they plan to pave this summer. They're also going to pave a section of New York Avenue on the south side, and that is a main residential street in Wellston. So a lot of good things happening in Wellston as well.
Be patient with the paving crews and all of that. Don't get mad because this will, if it's a little bit of time and maybe a detour around something to actually have a very, very nice street. So don't get mad. Just realize that they're doing good.
Right. Okay. Now I have some bad news for you. Gas prices are high, right?
Yes.
Okay. They're high everywhere.
Yes.
But one of the highest gas prices in the state is in Jackson County.
I noticed because
Okay.
I had to go to Newark over the weekend.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I looked at my little gas prices
Wow.
map this morning, and I was surprised. I always thought that, and I think this has been in the past, we're kind of in the lower half. It's more expensive some other places, particularly along the river, and all the way along the river, Ohio River. They seem to be a little higher there, and in the cities maybe. But in Jackson County right now, the average gas price is $5.10, 0.6.
Mm-hmm.
That is the third highest county in the state out of 88, the highest in southeastern Ohio. The only county real close to us is Athens County.
Okay.
Pike County, which is right next to us, is $4.84.7.
Uh-huh.
So why is Pike County 26 cents less a gallon than Jackson County? That is a good question
A
to
30
ask.
cent. And so I noticed that because I had to fill up the other day. I didn't realize I had gone to Columbus and had to fill up in South Bloomfield because my gas light came on. I didn't realize. And yeah, we were at a 30-cent swing between here and there. I think I paid $4.84 or something for it there. So I'm like,
Right.
That's 30 cents a gallon.
Right, and
How?
in Vinton County, right next to us, which we consider our local county, $4.98 .5. So that is 12 cents less than
Yeah.
Jackson County, and that is right next to us.
I
And then
don't get it.
let's see, Hawking County is about the lowest in the area, $4.79 .4. So that is 31 cents less
Ooh.
than Jackson County. And I think this is fair. Why?
No, and I agree with you 100%. And and it's very important that if you mentioned Melissa Miller earlier, if you listen to what she said when she was in here, again, the county receives money for our roads and things through a gas tax. So it's very important that you buy your gas within your own county so that that money goes back into the county to do that. But when you're talking about a 30-cent swing, I can understand where somebody would drive out of the county to go get, gas.
Right.
So that's not helping our county any.
No, I guess that's a very good point. That would be kind of like residual damage there.
Sure.
Because, when people, a lot of people commute, a lot of people will make that trip to the next county
Yeah, if you
to
can buy
visit
it
or
and fill a
shop
coffee
or whatever.
for 30 cents
well,
less.
sure, you're going to pull off and you're going to buy gas there.
Yeah.
The only two counties in the state of Ohio that are higher than Jackson, that, according to my quick survey that I took, Williams County, far northwest corner. You go as far north as you can.
Where
you go
the
as far west.
heck is Williams County?
It's on the other side of Toledo,
Okay.
on the Indiana border. $5.12.7.
Okay.
512.7. Paulding County, next to Williams County, $5.10.9. That is just 3/10 more than Jackson County. Jackson County ranking number 3 out of 88 counties right now, and we're right in the middle of southeastern Ohio.
Sure.
All right. So what else do we want to talk about? At the last Wellston School Board meeting, Roby Browning was hired as the new middle school principal. And he is a current Wellston City at-large councilman, former teacher intervention specialist, and he is stepping up out of the classroom to be the new middle school principal. There he is on the right in that photo, and he is standing by Terry Gill, who is the Wellston City Board of Education president. So congratulations to Roby Browning. Okay, I think later in the week, Wednesday? Tuesday. Are we going to have Commander Aaron Morgan of the State Highway Patrol here?
Tomorrow.
He is going to be here tomorrow. I think he's going to be bringing somebody with him as well. But I know one of the things he's going to talk about is the open house at the Ohio State Highway Patrol facility this Friday from 12 to 5. Troopers will be showcasing their various careers within the patrol, as well as interacting with visitors at the post. The post, of course, is located at 10179 Chillicothe Pike in Jackson. Do you know how you go up and down the strip and you see those two words that are ubiquitous, now hiring?
Yes.
Well, guess what? The patrol's in kind of a recruitment phase themselves.
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons they're having an open house. And one of the reasons they're now putting out information on how to become a trooper and some of the great advantages, upsides of being a trooper.
Yes.
And some of that information will be actually it was in the last edition of the Telegram on Saturday, as well as information about the open house. All right, we're going to go north to MacArthur now. And at the last MacArthur Village Council meeting, they celebrated the promotion of one of the police officers there at the MacArthur Police Department. And that was Bryce Chesser. That is Bryce on the left there. He is being given his corporal insignia because that was the rank he was promoted to by MacArthur Police Chief on the right. That is Matt Kite. Our own Red Thompson Jr. was up there and to cover that. And Chesser is a corporal. They also raised his pay because of the pay rank, and they also changed his pay because his rate of pay was not too much higher than some of the beginners. And so congratulations there to Bryce Chesser. They're very glad to have him. Just as we talked about with the patrol and all that's happened in law enforcement, some of the negative publicity that has occurred here in the last few years, they're having trouble sometimes getting new police officers. And then
it's a tough job.
Then keeping police officers, as they try to climb the ladder or go to another place. All right. Very positive thing happened last Thursday. here in Jackson, and no, Wednesday here in Jackson. I was there, and so was our man Hamilton, and some of the other folks from
Hamilton
from Total Media. And what happened was the Adena Health Center Jackson saw the relocation of its occupational health unit to the building across the parking lot in the office building where Genesis is. It's just across the parking lot. They used to be in the Adena Health Center. Now they're in that building.
Vinton County Bank was.
Vinton County Bank was there, and before that, the Hubbard and Hubbard accounting office was there.
Okay, yeah.
Then of course, the Vinton County National Bank had been vacant for a while, and now Adena Occupational Health Unit. They are calling their new center the Occupational Health Unit of Adena Health Center. That's going to be, it kind of has its own identity now,
Awesome.
Occupational Health Adena, as opposed to just being like a unit. And it has its own facility there. They'll have more space. They'll be able to have more business there. They'll have, it'll just be better all the way around. And occupational health, of course, includes some very important things, such as, see, what do they do in occupational health? They do physicals, and they do blood work, and they do screenings, and
Sure, anything to do
PT referrals,
with work,
physical therapy
yeah.
referrals. They do all those sort of things that become a kind of like a side thing on the medical side that is very big right now. And obviously, the business has been good enough for them that they needed to do this.
Yes.
And so that is at 920 Veterans Drive, Suite E. They had a ribbon cutting ceremony. The president and CEO Jeffrey Graham was there. We actually have a video posted on the Telegram Facebook page right now.
That's exciting.
That is the ribbon cutting ceremony there. Mayor Evans was there. Jackson Area Chamber of Commerce folks were there. And anytime that the chamber shows up and there's a ribbon cutting, it's good because new business or bigger business is happening.
Sure.
So that is the Adena Health Center. We're going to give you just a real quick word about some of the 4th of July stuff that's coming up. We're going to have a lot of information in our Saturday paper coming up. But just to tell you, there will be celebrations in a lot of our local towns, including Jackson, Oak Hill, Wellston, MacArthur, and Wilkesville. All of those places, except Wilkesville, will be having fireworks.
Okay.
But and the radio is already working on covering the big fireworks celebrations, doing remote broadcasts there to involve the public. So with the patriotic music and all,
Sure.
and to just make it a bigger deal. JJ Hale and his crew busier than ever, and they will be real busy during the 4th of July period. And the 4th of July falls on a Monday this time.
It does.
So there'll be a lot of things that are happening on the weekend and into that holiday on Monday. But just the shorthand version, the stuff in the city of Jackson will occur on Sunday, July the 3rd, including the fireworks. The celebration of our nation in Wellston, it was originally scheduled for the 2nd, but they changed it to the 3rd. It'll be on July the 3rd. Fireworks in both Jackson and Wellston. The Village of Oak Hill will have a 3-day event, July 2nd through the 4th, with fireworks on the 4th. And in MacArthur, there will be a 2-day celebration. It will be on Friday and Saturday, the 1st and the 2nd, with fireworks on the 2nd.
Very good.
So we're tracking down information on all those things, and we will have information in our Saturday edition in detail. All right, Wilkesville has no fireworks, but they have one of the best 4th of July parades you'll find. Even though it's a little town, they go big for the 4th of July. That will be on July 4th, the actual holiday, starting at 11 a.m.
Awesome.
We've had that in the paper, and we'll be repeating that information as well. We do want to tell you also, you folks that watch the governmental meetings and what happens with our schools and like that, the Oak Hill School Board meeting, which was supposed to have been this Wednesday, has been changed to the next Wednesday. That is Wednesday, June the 29th. It will be at 5:30 p.m. Okay, at the Margaret Ann Pool, they got off to a late start. They opened on the 4th instead of Memorial Day weekend.
They did.
But let me tell you,
look how nice that looks.
the weatherman served up some great weather, hot 95 to 100. That's good for the pool, you know.
For sure.
Hillcrest and the Margaret Ann Pool in Oak Hill.
Good place to be.
I sent Red Thompson Jr. down to Oak Hill just to show that the pool is cool and popular. And that is the McNeil boys, Chip and Oliver, waving there at Red, showing how nice that pool looks and how we can't tell you that the water is cool, but I think the McNeil boys can. So
I'd say so.
all right. So
we haven't done a big belly flop into it yet, have we?
Right, exactly. All right. You know, we did.
Bless you.
That's right. Bless you over there.
Bless you again.
You know, now.
Evidently, James is allergic to the pool.
Excuse me.
Right, chlorine. All right. Well, anyway, remember we did the big graduation spreads on our local high schools.
Of course,
One we
yes.
haven't done yet, but we're planning to do Wednesday, belatedly, better late than never, CLA. Christian Life Academy.
Very good,
Graduated
yes.
7 seniors. There they are. Congratulations to all of them, and they deserve to have their name mentioned. In the front row, Leslie Bragg, Amy Meredith, Alexand's Peoples, and Emily Whalen. That's the front row. In the back row, Thomas Boggs, Ryan Isaac, and Noah Stallings. And our big spread on CLA with some pictures and an article will be in Wednesday's paper. We're getting that ready right now. All
Very
right.
good.
Also, we want to congratulate the Buckeye Hills Career Center Skills USA program. They brought home the gold in their state championship. They had many honors, but here are the kids who had the top chapter team. They won the gold medal at the state. Natalie Kranitz, Layla Smith, and Hannah Allison from left to right there. And we had a story in Saturday's paper about the success of the Buckeye Hills Skills USA program in state competition. And they will be in national competition, some of those young people, in Atlanta, Georgia, starting today.
So cool. What a great opportunity.
All right. Now, last Tuesday was Flag Day. 2 groups that go out big celebrating Flag Day. You don't have to ask that it's a holiday. Are the American Legion in Wellston and the Jackson Elks Lodge. I was at the flag retirement ceremony for the Wellston American Legion last Tuesday evening, and this is how you properly retire an old flag. You burn it.
Yep.
So it's so ironic.
Which sounds very strange.
Right,
but
right. On one hand, it can be sacrilege to
Yes.
burn the flag.
Depends on how you burn
if you're
it, Pete.
protesting. But if you do it this way, it is actually supposed to be respectful.
Yes.
Right, and that's what they did at the American Legion. The Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts helped with that. We had some pictures in our last paper on Saturday. I know the Elks Lodge had their big Flag Day ceremony and program as well on the same evening. Okay, on the sports side, in last Saturday's paper and online as well, we invite you to check out a couple features. Our sports editor, Todd Compston, interviewed the new Wellston High School football coach. His name is Carl Justice, and he will be taking over for his first year. There he is. Carl has a lot of experience at both the college and high school level. I'm sure they're very lucky to get him. Remember, they had hired Nolan Yates earlier,
Yes.
and that did not work out
Yep.
because of a teaching assignment. Nolan decided that it just wouldn't work out for him.
Sure.
And so he resigned, and then they hired Carl Justice just a couple weeks ago, and we had an interview there with him. That is on our website as well as in last Saturday's paper. Also, a young man from Jackson High School who just graduated, Nolan Hayslip, one of their better soccer players. He will be playing soccer at the next level. He will be going to Muskingum University in New
Nice.
Concord, Ohio, and that is Nolan, second from the left in the front row, signing his letter of intent to go to Muskingum College. There you have Lee Lord and Todd Gearing, the soccer coaches for Jackson High School in the back, and you have the Hayslip family in the front row surrounding Nolan. Nolan at one time was just a role player, but he turned into one of the top players on the team this past season. And when he was interviewed by our multimedia sports journalist, Brock Netter, he thought his legacy was it's great that he's going to college and playing soccer, but he feels his example will show the younger players that if you really put your mind to it and you improve, you can turn yourself into a collegiate level soccer player.
It's awesome.
All right. A week ago on Monday, the Oak Hill Public Library hosted the Barker Farms animals for their summer reading program.
Yay.
And this is one of the gentlemen from the Barker Farms with a porcupine. And this is a good
So
thing. So much
fun.
going on at our local libraries with the summer reading programs.
Yes.
And this segues right into the fact that the Barker Farm folks will be at the Lillian Jones Museum this Wednesday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. with their animals. Some of them you can touch, some of them you can't, but you can look at all of them. And
Is it? Wait.
they have a nice array of animals. The 22nd, yes.
But it's not 7 to 8, is it?
I just checked, and I think they moved it to the evening from 7 to 8 p.m.
I was going to say my thing says 4, so.
Right. We will double check that and
Okay.
correct it tomorrow if we're wrong, but that is what
Okay.
the library had on its own site. Because I was not sure and I wanted to check. In the past, it has been in the afternoon.
Yeah.
My only thinking is they thought, it's going to
supposed to be so
it's going to
hot.
be hot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. The Vinton County EMA has announced that siren testing will take place on Monday, June the 27th throughout the county.
So don't freak out.
It'll be at noon. Once again, they have to test the sirens to make sure that they work when they're really needed.
Yep.
All right, the Chamber of Commerce in Jackson, so active lately, they will have their annual golf outing this Thursday at the Franklin Valley Golf Course. Shotgun start at 8:30 p.m. If you're interested in registering, call or message the Chamber. I think there's probably still time to do that. They have made a commitment to have their golf event locally now to help, the local golf courses and to keep people at home in Jackson County.
That would make sense.
It's the Freedom Fest 5K run, which is part of the 4th of July holiday. It has been scheduled for Saturday, July the 2nd. That is a big 5K run in Jackson. You can run or walk. Registration will be 8 a.m. at Manpower Park. The race will begin at 9. Once again, that's on Saturday, July the 2nd. I'm telling you about that because for years and years, it's always been on the 4th itself. Also, John Pelletier, as you know, has dropped off information here about the annual JVAC golf tournament.
Yeah.
It's coming up soon as well. It will be on July the 9th at the Franklin Valley Golf Course. Start in the morning with registration at 8 a.m. A shotgun start at 8:30. For more information or to sign up, call or text John Pelletier. I think he wants us to give out his cell phone number.
Oh, boy.
It's 740-418-2629. This is if you want to sign up for a golf tournament, not because you want to sell something, all right? Okay.
That's exactly right. Hey, that's my birthday, Pete.
It is. Okay,
Yeah.
well.
There's all kind of stuff. We keep announcing this on July 9th.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we need to celebrate all this stuff. Okay, the Jackson Masonic Lodge, also known officially as Troll Lodge 132, they had a big celebration on Thursday evening. They've never done a scholarship, but by golly, they did one this year, a $1,000 scholarship. And the first person to get it was a well-known Jackson High School senior, now a graduate of the class of 2022, and that was Drew Bragg.
Yes.
Right. Drew is
Very
the
cool.
first scholarship honoree. They thought that he was most deserving of this and embodied what it means to be a Mason. Of course, the Masonic Lodge and that beautiful historic building on Pearl Street, that red brick building that the pigeons love so much.
Yes.
Right.
But
Beautiful
it is
building
lovely.
with the turrets
It is a
there.
gorgeous
Has
building.
1891 on it, so it goes back way, way back.
Yeah.
All right, this Sunday, this is a great way to spend part of your Sunday. 4 p.m. at the Marquet Cultural Arts Center, the D.M. Davis Choirs is going to have a patriotic concert. They're
That's
calling
right.
it America Sings. And this was the choir, or part of the choir at least, at their last public appearance. They went over to the Field of Heroes in Wellston,
So cool.
the activity they had on Memorial Day. And both the men's and women's choirs will be performing. It only costs you $5 with a ticket in advance, $7 at the door. That's 4 p.m. this Sunday at the Marquet Cultural Arts Center.
I think they'll be in to talk this week a little bit about what they're doing as well, aren't they, James?
Yeah, on Wednesday morning.
Yep.
All right. And of course, we're getting closer to fair time as well. The Jackson County Fair in the middle of July, the Vinton
Can you
County
believe
Junior
it?
Fair, just 1 week behind it. And the folks who run the Queen's Pageant up in Vinton County are recruiting possible Queen and court candidates there. Girls grades 3 through 12 who are involved with 4-H, FFA, Girl Scouts, or the Juvenile Grange in Vinton County are invited to try out for Queen or court. They have a Queen, first attendant, second attendant, and then the grade level attendants. And if you want to apply there, you need to call Audrey Robson at 740-577-4735 or go on Facebook and you might be able to message there that you're interested in or at least make a connection. They will have a required participant parent meeting on Tuesday, July the 5th at 7 p.m. And then the Queen's Pageant itself will be 7 p.m. on Saturday, July the 23rd. That's the week heading into the fair. So
Exciting.
all that stuff is coming up very soon. Also, very interesting tonight, the Jackson County Farmers Club, they meet once a month on, I think it's the third Monday, and this is the third Monday, June the 20th.
Okay.
And they usually have a meeting at the extension office. It's really a professional thing for farmers. They always have a guest usually come in, or they have information about an agriculture-related topic. This time, they're going to hit the road, and they're going to meet at the Hazlitt House in Wellston. Are you aware of the Hazlitt House?
Yes.
That is that big, rambling house. As you turn into Driving Park Drive, you pass by it on the way to the fairgrounds.
You know, I found out a fun fact about that the other day
Mhm.
that ties into my family
Mm-hmm.
because, of course, the Morgans are redoing that house there.
Yes, they are.
And where my dad grew up and where grandmother and Uncle Lewis lived out on Standpipe, which is now Carmen's car lot,
Mm-hmm.
their old home place was torn down, and some of the woodwork
Mm-hmm.
from that went to the Hazlitt house.
Okay.
So that's really cool. My
Well-
mom was telling me that the other day, and I didn't know that.
Well, that house has a
So
grand
it's
history in Wellston.
Amazing and gorgeous, but
And Mr. Morgan, who is a contractor, he's very serious about a restoration,
For sure.
not a renovation, not a redo or whatever. He wants to preserve the history
Yes.
there. I've been in that house since he has started it, saw it last year, and since then, of course, more work has been done. It looks the same on the outside, and on the inside, it's been all fixed up. And it's one of the grand old houses in Jackson County, no doubt.
it is.
And they've had events there. Different groups have been in there.
Yes.
The Farmers Club will be in there tonight
Oh, that would be
at
so
7
fun.
p.m. Light meal at a cost of $5 per person. Then there'll be a tour and a program at 7:30. And this is for anyone wanting to take the tour. And here's what they say. The Farmers Club meetings are open to anyone interested in the program for the meeting. So, I don't know whether you have to be a farmer to go tonight, but
It'd be a great
they're
opportunity
kind
to
of
see
putting
what
this
they've
out
done.
in a general invite, and that will
Sure.
maybe expose more people to what the Farmers Club does. But anyway, that is
Love
tonight, and
that.
that is at the Hazlitt House. All right, and the last thing that I want to tell you about, speaking of farmers, is the Farmers Market. Starts up this Saturday in Jackson.
Woohoo!
It will be
Love that.
It will be over at the Eddie Jones, across from the Eddie Jones Park on Harding Avenue. That's where it's been the last several years.
Yep.
In that big lot over there, and I think the Weber family are kind of spearheads that out in Soda Township. And how that works is there is no setup fee, but only locally grown agriculture-related products are allowed to be sold. For more information, you can call one of the daughters. That's Sarah Weber Massey, or call Weber Farms at 740-988-7853 for more information. But once again, there is no setup fee. You can go free. And then
That's
as far
right.
as the public, you can go down the line there. These are Jackson County agricultural
You
products.
got it. Get you
And
some
this will be
great
each Saturday,
stuff.
starting this Saturday and continuing into the fall.
Yep. It's always so good.
All right. Well, our good friend Red Thompson Jr. has
Red
shown up.
is here.
There he is over there in the waiting room.
Yes.
I think he's already been through the makeup person over there.
Yes.
So he's ready to go on. And I have no idea what he's going to talk about, but I guarantee you it will be worth your time. Is it
Well-
are you talking about cats, Red, pools, tourism?
Yeah, definitely tourism and some changes for downtown MacArthur that they're wanting to do, the mayor, and a few
Okay.
other topics.
All right. Well,
you-
come on over,
you come
Red.
you come over and take my seat, and you enlighten the masses. All right.
All right. Well, while we're changing it out, this weather forecast is a bit absurd, same as last week. So here's what we have in store for us. For today, not too bad. So if you have any outdoor stuff to do this week, I suggest, or I would like to hint for you to get out and do it, because highs only 84 today, getting cooler overnight, lows around 55. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all of this, all through the weekend, they are saying very, very hot, highs in the mid to upper 90s. They're saying it's going to feel as if even hotter than it was last week. So, just be careful out there. Hopefully, we can avoid having a ridiculous storm, though, Red, that takes everybody's power out. So,
I'll tell you.
but it is very important that you check on your friends and your neighbors. Make sure your pets have lots of water. Make sure all of that stuff. Make sure if people have breathing problems or whatever, check on them and just make sure everybody's safe.
It's 2012 we visited when we had a hurricane in southeast Ohio.
Yeah, no doubt. Literally.
I mean, I'll never forget some of the when we got to Wilson, the windy sign was hit. The VFW over there was destroyed. They rebuilt it. It's just hot, muggy weather plus heavy rains. And
yeah, it was bad.
Not a good mix for us. But I've been up in Benton County, and there's several. It's a busy summer up there, and a lot of times in Benton County the summer's a little slow, but certainly not this year. Tourism is in the spotlight again, and we've heard from the Moonville Rail Trail, and
that's great.
We discussed that before about how they got money for the bridges, but the reason that I selected that picture is because that is a trail header. One of the 3 or 4 on the 20-mile trail. And that could be very important for the village of Selesky to have events at the trailheads. There's one in the village, and there's one at the double cut, there's one at the tunnel, and I think those are the main 3 ones. And they can hold events there. They've held concerts there.
Okay.
Have you been to the Moonville party, the midnight party?
No, but it sounds like a blast.
It really is. They have concerts at the double cut, and they get the hay bales and hay bale seating, and people bring their own chairs. It's really kind of neat. They hold little craft fairs.
Yeah.
The forest is becoming a place that Benton County has a lot of forest, and they're finding different ways to use it.
Sure.
And we've already seen the race cars go through there. And now they're talking about events, and they're talking about even extending the Moonville Trail all the way to Jackson. That's
what?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be. It would be. And they've discussed a tourism trail. I went to an Oak Hill chamber meeting, and they were discussing a theater trail.
Uh-huh.
That include their Liberty, Jackson's Moquet, and other venues where they could have events.
Sure.
And one of the MacArthur could have a new place other than the hotel, which we've discussed. The MacArthur Brickyard got a brownfield grant from the state of Ohio for $139,424 to clean it up, mitigate it. And then the CVB up there plans to use it for a tourism spot. They might build a gazebo, have some music, some events.
Do like a nice park there.
And that was a historic place in MacArthur. It was one of the first industries where they made bricks. Yeah. So it'll be one of those heritage tourism type sites that people can go to. And as we discussed before, it's an internet platform. People look for these kind of things.
Sure.
Just a lot of history buffs out there. I'm a history buff. I don't know if you are, but I love history, and I've gone to many places where there's history.
I think history is one of those things that as you get older, you appreciate it more. And it's what's really interesting, and having the brewery right beside the Veterans Park in Jackson, it is amazing to me how many people drive specifically to come to that park and walk through it and look at it.
Well,
and the signs downtown, the Powell and all of that stuff, they really do.
That's a topic. It's kind of a new marketing strategy. I think the internet kind of equalizes everything. So what you're getting into is topic based tourism, and that military is a topic for a lot of people,
for sure.
Especially in this area. You can see the Veterans Day is celebrated.
Yeah.
I've never seen another area that celebrates Veterans Day and Memorial Day like this area does. It's just a lot of patriotism and you're right that was a great addition to downtown Jackson, the flags and everything. And I think this nature tourism is really going to go because you mentioned your friend in Columbus. So Columbus is booming.
Yep. Big time.
Columbus has moved almost to Circleville.
Yeah.
And those people, with the gas prices being high, our area is a perfect place for long weekend retreat.
Yes. Plenty of places around here to camp or to, cabins to stay in.
And, I know the commissioners, Benton County was trying to get a ATV trail around the county. And unfortunately, I think that didn't work. I'm not sure what happened. But ATV trails in West Virginia make a lot of money.
Yes, they do. Big time.
The Hatfield-McCoy Trail is big.
Yep.
Big ATV. And I think this history marketing and natural resource marketing could be an answer for the area entirely, because you mentioned that people looks for that stuff.
They sure do.
There's a small town in Indiana, Centerville, Indiana, the Centerville Antique Mall. Here I am plugging another business.
That's all right.
But people go to this little town of 11,000 people to go to the antique mall. They've got all kinds of interesting stuff, and I'm sure some of our antique dealers, maybe they can get started something like that here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just the sky's the limit, right?
It is. Once you get people coming, the ideas start floating. And MacArthur Mayor Steve Hammond is kind of in that realm. He wants to redevelop the downtown into some kind of historic district. And when you renovate an 1839 hotel, it kind of fits.
Mm-hmm.
Get the lighting, get the carriage rides. There's people up there that do the horse carriage rides, like they do at Mayhew Brown. When they have it. So, just a lot going on this summer. They're getting ready to open a Goodwill. The Benton County Bank.
They're building a beautiful new building up there.
Yeah, I checked with them. They're going to be they're in the permit process, and when that happens, they'll tear down McCloy's restaurant and start on their own building. So downtown MacArthur is going to be busy with construction. The sheriff's office up there is going to be moving within the next 6 to 8 months, I would guess. They're moving to the former DD building. It's now mostly vacant, except for there's still some workers from the DD board there, but there's no clients there. Just some adult workers that takes part of the building, and the sheriff's office will occupy the rest of it. And that should happen shortly, and they'll probably tear down the sheriff's office building that's old. But there's going to be a busy summer, and we're just trying to get a lot of things to get the economy going, and hopefully, like we discussed before, they'll affect the whole region, and we can all grow together.
Love that.
And help. The Marquee could play a key part in this if they can get a regional plan going from here to Logan to spread the tourism out. Mm-hmm. So that could be good for a lot of people out there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it sounds like there's a lot going on up there.
Well, they keep working at it, and it's bringing out of town money in is. For small towns, I think out of town money, the money just kind of gets all spent, dedicated. So the best way to get new money in is to try to bring in out of town money. So that's what they're trying to do. So.
Well, very good.
And I think we got football coming up. I wanted to mention that before we leave. Benton County football and Jackson County football be on all 4 stations and all 4 internet streams. 2 months, Jennifer, from the first game.
I know. Can you believe it? As it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, I don't think some of the ADs having 2 games in August.
Yeah, sometimes that can bite you in the rear end, huh?
That's might not be good for the hot dog stands. But.
Maybe good for the ice cream part. How's that?
Oh, there you go. See, thinking switching venues.
That's
Very
right.
good.
Dipping dots for everybody.
All righty.
All right. Well, Red, thank you so much for stopping by. We greatly appreciate it. And of course, always out on the beat in MacArthur and Benton County, letting us know all the latest and greatest things we have going on up there. So, all right, James, is there anything else we have to cover today?
Just to remind everyone, we have the Highway Patrol here tomorrow, and then the
Yes.
Davis Choir
On Wednesday.
yeah, and also all kinds of exciting stuff this week.
Yeah, lots and lots of fun things going on. And yeah, we're super excited to have the Highway Patrol back in here to talk about their open house that they have going on here coming up pretty darn soon. So very rarely do they open up their doors to, I mean, you can go in there, of course, but like for them to have a special open house, that's a pretty cool thing. So we look forward to it. All right. Well, Red, have a great day.
Well, thank you so much, and enjoy the last day of some cool weather, and
Yeah.
then summertime's coming. So head
It
for
sure
the pool.
That's right. Exactly. We have plenty of pools around here to jump into. So have a great day, everyone. We appreciate you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.